Good morning, my LPES friends. Happy Friday and welcome to our Friday feeling. We have so much to get through today, so much to talk about, some really exciting stuff coming up next week. And in fact, we have so much to talk about that I had to make myself a little list to remember all of it so that we can get through everything. Before we really get kicking things into high gear, let's start with one of our mindful morning cards. Let me just grab them right over here. Okay, so if I have it set correctly, I might not. I think so, actually. So I know we had body scan from 2 weeks ago, and then I think last week's was leave a positive message for someone else to find. So we had a new one, which is exciting. And then let's see if we can pick a brand new mindful morning card. So today's mindful morning card is, do 5 of your favorite yoga poses. I'm wondering if any of you actually know any yoga poses, or if you do them in class sometimes, if you do them as a brain break. If you don't know 5 yoga poses, I have a different challenge for you. And my different challenge would be this weekend at some point, go on YouTube with mom and dad's permission, of course, and find a little yoga class that you could do. For our younger students, I know Cosmic Kids Yoga is a really fun one. That would be a great one for like preschool, kindergarten, first, maybe even second graders. My 3rd and 4th graders, we could go online, search yoga again, making sure that we're with mom or dad and with their permission, and see if we could find a little bit of yoga for kids that you could do and try. I know there's a famous yoga person called Adriene, Yoga with Adriene, and she has ones for kids, and she has a really cute dog, Benji, also. So you could try that, and that would work for really anyone in our school, I think, kindergarten through 4th grade, pre-K through 4th grade. And teachers, she has some really good ones for grown-ups, too. So if you're looking for some yoga at home with our Mindful Mornings challenges, you can go ahead and try that out. Okay, let's switch things up a little bit. I'm sitting over at my desk. I'm going to move us around. I'm also going to turn another light on so it gets a bit brighter in here. Ba-ba-da-bum. Okay, that's better. And let me get settled here on the couch so we can really talk about everything that is coming up. I feel like it's a little crooked. Sorry about that, guys. We'll survive. Okay, so next week, starting on Monday, when we come back to school, we have our Great Kindness Challenge. Now, I know at our Panther Pride meeting last week, we talked about all of our spirit days. So I'm not going to go through all of those spirit days again because there are so many. But I will tell you that Monday, and this was one that was come up with by our Student Climate Committee, Monday's spirit day is get comfy, not grumpy. Almost a rhyme in there, a little play on words. So get comfy, not grumpy. And so we're going to be practicing kindness, but we're also going to be wearing some comfy clothes, which always makes me feel a little bit more kind, a little bit better. Monday is also, if you follow along in the slides that I had sent out, teachers, Monday is also a day that we can practice kindness for ourselves, I believe. So it is a Be Kind to Yourself day. Now, since Monday is a Be Kind to Yourself day, we are also going to be doing another activity that we did last year. And that is we're going to be using some thought bubbles to write positive affirmations. Let me explain what all that is because it sounds a little strange. Let me actually grab an example here. Whoops. They all just fell on my floor. So if you look, we have all of these different colored, different shapes, these thought bubbles, speech bubbles, whatever you'd like to call them. And inside each one, you are going to put a positive affirmation. We've discussed what that is before, but just in case you forgot, a positive affirmation is a positive message or a sentence that we say to ourselves. Sometimes you'll hear the word mantra. A mantra is something that we repeat over and over again. I think some of our kindergarten classes might do mantras in the morning, a kindness mantra. So we have our positive affirmations, positive sentences, positive mantras, whatever you want to call them. And basically, we are going to put on here some positive thinking thoughts that we could spread out and put all over our school. And I loved doing this with you last year because then when we walk down the school, we can see all of those wonderful things, remind ourselves to think positively, remind ourselves that sometimes our brain almost acts, sounds a little strange, but acts like a bully to us, where our brain tells us things like, you can't do this, you're not smart enough, no one likes you. And we need to talk back to that voice that's in our head, saying those negative thoughts, those negative things. Now, the cool thing about positive affirmations, about saying these things over and over again, and this is scientifically proven, is that your body and brain do not know the difference. If you are saying these positive thoughts, they don't know. Your brain doesn't really know if you're speaking truthfully or not. So let's say you don't believe in yourself in that moment. You are feeling really doubtful. You're feeling scared. You're feeling nervous about something, but you keep telling yourself, I am brave. I can do this. I am brave. I can do this. Even if in the pit of your stomach, deep in your heart, you don't actually feel brave and you don't actually feel that you can do this, the more you say those to yourself, the more your brain is actually going to start believing it. We can kind of trick ourselves into acting in a way that is calmer, braver, more confident, all of those things. So positive affirmations, I got to be honest with you, this is something I need to do more often myself. So it's something that even grown-ups can be working on, because I don't think I use positive affirmations enough, even though we talk about them on Friday Feelings a lot. So I'm hoping by having these up and around our school can be a nice reminder for you, for me, for other students and teachers to talk more kindly to ourselves, to see what other people have said and use those. So I'm going to pause from talking about our Great Kindness Challenge for a moment, because what I actually have is a little video to show you. I used this one in the past. I want to say we used it when we did these positive affirmations last time, but I'm not positive. I couldn't find the video easily for my other Friday Feelings last year or the year before. But this is a short video. It's 3 minutes long. It's called The Reflection in Me. My older students, you're going to hear it's simple. It's not really complex. It's not really hard to understand, but the message is so good. So even my 3rd and 4th graders, I'm going to ask you to give in, relax, sit back, enjoy this little 3-minute video. My younger students, I think you'll be able to really appreciate it as well, because it's all about a girl who wants to be kinder to herself, looking in the mirror and trying to say and think those kind messages, those positive affirmations that we were just talking about. So we'll come back to Great Kindness Challenge in a moment, but for right now, enjoy The Reflection in Me.
I like being you, said the reflection in the mirror. To me, you are perfectly perfect. I blushed. Me? Yes, you. And by the way, you have wonderful eyes. I blinked, astonished. I do? Absolutely. They sparkle like stars on the darkest of nights. I gazed downward. Thank you. Your eyes sparkle too. Sweet of you to say. You have a marvelous voice. I gently whispered, You really think so? Of course. You sound as joyous as a songbird, whistling in the trees. And you have a magnificent smile. I sheepishly grinned. Well, Mama always says, start every day with a smile. I agree. Your smile is as bright and cheerful as the sun in the sky. And you are quite smart. I took a step towards the mirror. I do try very hard. You sure do. You're as brilliant as a rocket scientist. I like that you are friendly. I leaned in closer. It's very important to be nice, you know. It sure is. You're as peaceful as a butterfly. And you have a lot of courage. I raised my head high. I auditioned for the school play today. Outstanding. You're as brave as a lion. You're a fantastic dancer. spread my arms wide. Watch how fast I can twirl. Around and around I went. Amazing! You're as graceful as a dolphin gliding through the sea. I plopped on the ground, giggling as the room playfully spun around. And you have a terrific laugh. Thank you very much. Your chuckle fills the air with bubbly joy. But most of all, I like your heart. Your kindness is as beautiful as a rainbow. I stood up and walked towards the mirror. To me, you are perfectly perfect. I gently pressed my hands against the glass. I like being you. We smiled in unison. I like being you too. I want to be you forever.
All right, I hope you enjoyed that quick little video all on how we can try to talk to ourselves a little bit more kindly, a little bit more gently, perhaps. So I'm excited to see what kind of positive affirmations you all come up with. Another thing we're going to be doing next week is, if you remember at Panther Pride last week, we were assigned another class that we are going to be sending kindness mail to, or kindness grams to. So we had that big wheel on the board and we spun it, and teachers, I shared with you in an email for a Great Kindness Challenge Week all who you're assigned to. So it should be in that email, and within the Google Slides presentation in that email, you'll be able to find that info. You are going to be designing some kindness mail. This is just an example that I found that we are going to be sending to another class. You could either find out students' particular names in the other class, or you could just write it to someone in general and it can be delivered to them. And we're going to be doing this as an entire grade, as an entire group, I should say, because it's all grades. As an entire school, we're doing that. So that's another exciting thing. I can't wait to see what kind of kindness mail you all come up with, and ways that we're able to spread kindness to classes that aren't even our own, or maybe in another grade level entirely, or might be kids that we don't know, we haven't really met before. So it's nice ways for us to try and spread some kindness throughout the halls of LPES. Finally, last thing, I'm just checking my notes to make sure we have everything. Okay. Oh, last thing. The kindness grams that you're doing are going to be sent directly to the class that you're doing them for. So you can come up with a fun way, maybe together with your teacher, that you guys can deliver those. Teachers, the positive affirmation word bubbles, those are coming back to me. So those can go into my mailbox whenever they're done next week. And then our climate committee members are going to help me put them up around the school. So just to clarify those two things. Last thing, so much paperwork, is we have our Great Kindness Challenge. You may have recognized these papers from other years. This one is the version that we do for our upper grades. So this is going to be for grades 2, 3, and 4. And then this one we do for our younger grades, for kindergarten and first grade. And you're going to check off as many of these as possible. Now, of course, as always, I'm asking you to be honest on here, right? We're not just going down and checking off every single one because we felt like it. We're really taking the time to try and figure out which one of these we can do. I'm not expecting you to finish this entire page in a week. I just don't think that it's really possible or feasible. You can try your best, and some of you might be able to if you really put your mind to it, but I don't expect every student to do all of these acts of kindness. I do expect you to take a look at these pages, whether you're in the upper grades or lower grades, and figure out which one of these things you could try and incorporate. You could try to do that day or that week. I will be collecting these. They do not have to be fully completed, but every one that you check off, I'm going to keep mark of. So let's make sure that we're trying, and maybe we'll get some special rewards for those. Let's make sure that we're trying as best as we can to go above and beyond to spread some extra kindness throughout our school. Okay, that is just about everything for the Great Kindness Challenge, but before I move on to other parts of our Friday Feeling today, I want to share one other video with you, and this video is the Great Kindness Challenge Kickoff. This is not something we just do here at our school, here at LPES. This is something that's done across the country in lots of different states, lots of different towns and cities across the United States. So I'm going to share the kickoff video that they send out so you could see what some of the other schools have done in the past, and so we can all get excited together for what next week holds. So here's the Great Kindness Challenge Kickoff video.
The happiest week of the school year is here. Students just like you from all over the world are about to take on the Great Kindness Challenge. Are you ready? The Great Kindness Challenge is all about celebrating kindness in a way that makes every student, every teacher, and all staff members feel loved and appreciated. This all started 12 years ago with just 3 schools in Carlsbad, California. Now, there are over 37,000 schools with over 19 million students participating all over the world. This year's theme is Grow Kindness. When you're kind to someone, it makes them want to be kind to someone else, and seeds of kindness end up spreading everywhere. So, how will you grow kindness?
I'll grow kindness by completing all 50 kind acts on my checklist. I'll grow kindness by smiling at everyone I see. I will grow kindness by helping my custodian. Mr. Danny, can I help you?
Sure. Thank you.
I'll grow kindness by doing my happy dance. I'll slip a note in my friend's backpack. I'll grow kindness by thanking my teacher.
On their own, these small acts of kindness might not seem like they make a big difference. But when a lot of people do a lot of acts of kindness, it all adds up. When we work together, our kindness has the power to change the world and make it a better place for everyone. So, let's get out there and do as many kind acts as we can. Be creative, have fun, and remember,
And it all begins with you.
Okay, I know watching that video gets me excited for next week and all the fun things we have planned here at LPES. So I can't wait to see what you guys come up with and the ways that we're able to spread a little bit more kindness through our school for those 5 days. So, a lot of announcements this week, as I was saying. We also, on Wednesday of this past week, we had a new person starting at our school, and that was Mrs. S, or Mrs. Susperich. Some of you got to meet her. We tried to make it into lunches, but we ended up getting caught up with a few other things coming up, so she'll be popping into a few more lunches, I think, on Monday. Mrs. S is my counseling intern this year. We're going to have 2 counseling interns this spring, so you'll meet another intern in a few weeks, and I'll introduce her on here as well. That's going to be Miss L. But for right now, I have a quick little video with Miss S. So if you didn't get to see Mrs. S when she was here on Wednesday, don't worry, you'll get to see her right now. And then she'll be back next week on Mondays and Wednesdays for the next couple of months. So she'll be spending a lot of time with us here at LPES. I'm going to kick it over to past Mrs. Heffler and Mrs. S right now. Right, my friends. So I am here with Mrs. S, and we are so excited to have her here at LPES. Welcome, Mrs. S.
I'm so excited to be here, boys and girls. I'm a school intern, and I'm so happy to be here learning how to do this.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. So she is learning how to be a school counselor just like me, which means in the next couple of weeks and months, Mrs. S is with us all the way until May, which is awesome. You're going to be seeing Mrs. S around the hallways. She'll be coming into your classrooms. She'll be here in my office with me and getting to meet all of you, or some of you at least.
I can't wait to meet all of you.
Oh, very exciting. So thank you so much, Mrs. S. We
Thanks for having
look
me.
forward to having you on Friday Feelings again in the future. Okay, my friends. We had a lot of stuff going on today on this Friday Feeling. But we have one last thing to do, and that is our newest addition to Friday Feeling, and that is ending with our kindness wheel. So let's go ahead and spin that wheel today. We'll see what kindness challenge we're all going to be doing for this weekend and next week together. Here we go. Let's see. And the kindness wheel ended on call someone you love. What a great challenge for you going into this weekend, my friends. Calling somebody we love, telling them why they're special to us. I hope you all get to do that challenge this weekend. As always, my LPES friends, I'll see you next week. And in the meantime, stay kind.